All right guys, here we are at Cedar Avenue. You can see from the background that we're starting to get into our final grading, flat work, and landscape phase. You can see from the building that we're starting to get pretty complete here. So the interiors are complete and just need to finish up the exteriors and get our final inspections, get into our final inspection cycles, and get a certificate of occupancy on this thing. So I think this may be one of the final videos we do. Hope you guys have found this to be worthwhile watching the whole thing. I've tried to compact it into a short and sweet version of a lengthy process. And that's it for today. Thanks.
Here's a shot from the outside. Starting to look complete. Got guys starting to grade the front driveway. It's a little messy still from the stucco, but you can see these guys are starting to grade this. So really it's like final grading. By hand, old school. So just a shot of the outside, starting to come together.
This will show you a little view of how messy it gets when the stucco's done, but before it gets cleaned up. Looks like surface of the moon. Anyways, that's pretty typical. So the stucco guys will come back and get that cleaned up. You should make sure when you do your contracts for stucco that cleanup is part of the scope of work, because you can see there's a ton of it. It's just like, concrete rubble all over the place. Can't quite see it, but this is an overview of the driveway as we get ready to set the forms. All the underground water lines are in. Everything's ready to go. There's our new fence. So we are on the downhill slide to complete this project on Cedar. This is our LID planter pit. We basically dig out the dirt, and then we're going to build a block line pit, and then the majority of the site drainage will drain into this pit, percolate down, and it'll flow out. It's basically a method of detention, pretty typical these days in the new code for California. Here I'm going to show you a little bit of the piping going into this LID pit. So these pipes are from what I showed you before that tie into the downspout. You can sort of see that's one that will tie into the gutters once those are installed up at the roof. Those will come down, water will flow into that one, and that one likely is that pipe right there. And then this pit will get filled with gravel, and it's what we call a dry well. And so that will fill up, percolate into the ground to the degree that it percolates, which is somewhat, and then it's not installed yet, but somewhere around right here, a pipe will go out underneath the sidewalk and go out the face of the curb. And so when this thing fills up, so water comes in there, drains down, and then as the water rate gets up, there's a higher pipe here, and then once that height of that water reaches that higher pipe, then it will drain out to the curb face into the normal storm drain system, for the city. Somewhere down there will be a storm drain. It's actually down there. So it'll flow along the curb line and then go into the storm drain. This is just a way of retaining water. So it fills up to a certain degree, holds the water, and then eventually when there's enough water in there, it flows out. So if you have a small rainstorm, the water would just go in here. Only, and let's say it fills up halfway, and then eventually it will just percolate into the ground at the percolation rate. Some sites don't have perk at all. Like our site in Fullerton does not percolate at all. It's like zero, it's all clay. And so we actually have to retain the water in bioswales. Think of it like a ditch with plant material in it, so it slows the water flow down, and then eventually runs into the storm drain for the city sewer, like this one does through there into this curb face. Just a slightly different version of it based on the percolation rate of the site. Here on this project, we're starting the driveway pour, so I'm going to show you some video downstairs, but it's a little hard to see, but we got our layout lines for the slab and flat work for the driveway. In the middle right there, we're actually going to get a pretty big chunk that will be a pervious surface, so where that small pile of trash is sort of in the middle of it, and that's like a permeable paver, permeable concrete, or slotted concrete, allowed drainage to percolate into the soil under California's low impact development design standards. Basically, they want to try to keep runoff on site and either percolate it into soil via like a permeable paver, permeable concrete surface, or we run it into a storage like a sump or LID pit. More California fun. So here's some more setup for the concrete. You can see that's going to be a little landing for that front door, walkway. Although we're gonna have to finish this LID pit, but you can see the sidewalks and walkways will all work together down into the front gate there, over to the front door of that unit. So this is the front door of one unit, and that's the front door of another unit, so those are different.
So this finish here is called the broom finish. And literally they will do the finishing, get it smooth, and then they'll just basically rake a hard bristle brush, like a push broom brush, across the wet concrete, and it leaves these grooves and gives like a texture. See it there. Here's just a quick video of all the flat work now complete. Got some walkways. Makes these projects real. Start sewer clean out. Concrete looks good. Kids did nice work.
Getting prepped for installing landscaping. You can see these guys are clearing and grubbing what was the parkway, and then they've done their final grading for the landscape, and you can see they've got these red flags planted to start to locate, plant materials are going to go in that location. All right, here we are on the final walkthrough on the exterior for 1719 Cedar Avenue. This thing is done. Landscaping is in. It's going to give you a quick overview of what this thing looks like on the exterior.